So this video is long overdue. I know you guys haven't heard from me in a while, and my family. I haven't put up any videos in quite some time. It's because I've had a few changes in my life that I've been trying to accept and trying to deal with my emotions and just different things. So I haven't uploaded nothing in quite a long time, but I will explain in a moment why. So obviously everyone's always used to me putting up different videos. I've done videos of foods, a lot about my family and my introduction to my YouTube channel. So I've had a few serious changes in my life. So my next YouTube videos I will be uploading will be slightly a bit different than what you're normally used to seeing. So those who know me personally, like my friends and a few of my family, are aware of the changes in my life. Nothing like I'm pregnant. I don't want anyone to think that I'm pregnant again. No, so I'm now separated from my husband. We're going through a divorce. So obviously it's not a thing where we both mutually decided that we want to get a divorce. I think it was a thing where I needed to build the confidence to actually say that I want a divorce. So yeah, we're going through a divorce at the moment. It wasn't a thing where I just woke up one day and said, I don't want to be married anymore. I've always had this perception of marriage, of it being beautiful and nice and romantic. Obviously having its tough times, but the perception I had of marriage is not what I had when I got married. So I decided to walk away. There was a number of reasons why I decided to walk away. It took me a long time. I mean, I was with my husband since 2014 when he met me. We have three beautiful children, a 7-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old son, and another son that's 2. We have been together for quite a long time. We have so much in common. I think it was just a thing where it was a breakdown in communication, in trust, and then the last thing that disappeared was the love and the respect, which I think are the most vital things in a relationship. For a lot of the ladies out there, what I would say is when you're with a man, I think the most important things is communication, trust, love, and respect. And when you start to lose these things one by one, you start to lose your relationship. And it's a thing where, for me, I mean, I won't say I'm disrespectful, but if you give me respect, I give you respect back. And it got to a point in my marriage, even before I got married, we were having problems. But for some reason, I'm the type of person who say, oh, people will change and things will get better because I have a good heart. But it's sometimes you should not ignore red flags, especially when it comes to men. I think one of the big problems about us women is we ignore red flags. When we see a guy shows a particular characteristic, we tend to say, oh, okay, well, maybe it's just something that he will grow out of, or as time goes on, he will learn to not do it. But it's a small way of thinking, because a lot of these men out here, either they weren't raised properly or they just don't know how to respect a woman, or they didn't have a dad around to teach them the level of respect they should have for a woman that they're with. So they go out here and they treat other women like absolute garbage. It's a thing where I can't even blame the parents, because you have some men that do grow up with men in their lives and they still don't know how to treat a woman. I just think it's a thing where the men out here need to learn how to treat their women, because a lot of them are just so disrespectful for no reason at all to women. I'm not saying that us women are not disrespectful, but for those who come across friendly or loving towards them, they tend to behave so bad. And it's just like, why? When I met my husband, he was the world. He was the most kindest, loving, romantic man I have ever met, which is why I fell in love with him. But it's a thing where he was very helpful. He used to walk me home and he used to sing to me. And he just absolutely loved being around me. and he was lovely with my daughter, and he was just everything. I mean, this guy would not let me even go on a bus without sitting next to him, holding his hand. I mean, it was all around romantic. And a lot of people say there's a honeymoon phase when you first meet someone. And I do believe there is, because the minute that I moved out with him, it's like the gates of hell opened. And it wasn't the thing where he was just evil to me every day. It happened gradually. I mean, when we moved out together, first of all, I was living in London and we were living with my aunt, and then we decided to live in London, but to get a place was hard. So we were supposed to move to Birmingham, and then they said they had a 2-bedroom in Wolverhampton, and for me it was just like, what is a Wolverhampton? I didn't even know what it was. So I came down, had a look at the house, had a look at the place, and I liked it. So we moved down. At that time, he was still in college doing his level 3. But I said to him, obviously, me and my daughter can just go down and he can meet us after. But he didn't like us to do that because he felt like we were there on our own and he didn't want us to be on our own. And I thought, oh, that's lovely, that's sweet. But as the months and the years went by, I started to realize why he was saying that. It wasn't a sweet thing. It was a thing where it was a power trip. If you go down there, you're going to meet someone else. You're going to want to be with someone else and you're not going to want me, kind of thing. So, I mean, for me, everything was going fine. I didn't think we had any issues. I think where it first slapped me in the face was when I was told, I forgot who told me, that he was talking to a girl from his job. And at first I was just like, okay, I don't see him doing that. Like, I was just still, I guess, in honeymoon phase. I didn't want to believe it. And then something said to me, start checking his phone, checking his messages, his social media. And then I saw this woman and I was just thinking, okay, their conversation started off friendly. And then it started to get a bit too unfriendly. And then next thing you know, I'm asking him, who's this girl? Oh, she's just my friend. I said, oh, okay. Him telling me it was just a friend, I just took it as he said it. And I ignored the signs. Once again, it's not good to ignore red flags. And I thought, okay, this is just his friend. But then I came across a conversation where he must have said to her, how he's developed feelings for her and how, he don't know how he fell in love with her. And then he started to like profess his love, kind of thing. How he wants her to be his fiance, he wants them to be together, all sorts. And this is why I had a ring on my finger, because he already had proposed to me, and this was around 2015. And I was just a bit skeptical. So I ended up getting the girl's number and I called her. So when I call this girl now, I was trying to figure out. Obviously, they normally say don't call the girl. But I was trying to figure out what's going on. Long story short, this girl says to me, basically how he told her that he lives with his auntie, that he does have a child, but the child lives with the mom in London, and how the mom has just been driving him crazy. So, obviously, when he came home from work, I said to him, is this girl really your friend? Oh, yeah, she's just a friend, just a work colleague. I was like, okay, cool. So, what he don't understand is I'm very good with technology, and a lot of people don't know this. So, like, when you delete messages, I can retrieve messages that you delete. And this is what he didn't know about me at the time. So because he didn't know this, he just felt comfortable just like lying to me, kind of thing. He thought, okay, I'm getting away with it. She don't know nothing, you understand? So I was already seeing all these messages. I just didn't say nothing about it yet because I wanted to keep asking him to see, does he have a conscience? Would he be honest with me and tell me that, you know what, this is what's happening, I'm sorry, But the thing with men is very hard to get them to admit when they're doing something wrong. It's like a punch to the face to them. They don't want to admit it. Even though they are caught red-handed, they sometimes still try to lie or try to twist it and say it's your fault. Do you understand? So as time went on, kept just watching their messages and just seeing what they're doing and what they're talking about. And some of the times he was writing his messages, he was sitting next to me. And then I got upset at one point and I must have told the girl off. And then I said to him, I know you're cheating on me. Oh no, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, okay. So I now showed him the messages on my phone that I can see everything. And in his face, it was just like, he was shocked. He didn't realize that I've been seeing this the whole time. And so what he done was he thought, okay, I'm going to create a new account. But even if you create a new account, I can still find you, kind of thing. So when I told this girl off, first of all, he didn't like the fact that I told her off. But I told her off because I was angry. So obviously after I said what I said to the girl, then she says to me, oh, I know that you ain't got your permanent stay in this country. So my stepdad is a police officer. I'll make sure it's hard for you to ever get a stay in this country. And for me, that was a big punch to my face because, I mean, I don't tell people about my status in the country. I'm not illegal. I've got a visa, you understand, because my children are British born. But the fact that he disclosed this information to a woman that he hardly knows and that I don't know at all, it's like a betrayal to me and my family. And I remember when she said this to me, I was in tears because it was just like, how low can this guy go just so she can sleep with him? And things just got worse and worse and worse. So it was a thing where it got to a point I said to him, you got to choose, it's me or her. You need to cut her off because whatever this is, you can't be happening. You're saying you want to marry me, but then you're talking a certain way to another girl. So things got really bad and he became so disrespectful. And I think that was the first time he actually put his hands on me. And obviously the type of person I am, because I loved him so much and I was so in love, I cried because it was a thing where I never had it happen to me before. Like, no guy sees that written on my forehead to even try to put their hands on me. So the fact that he did, I mean, he said he felt bad about it after, but for me, it was a big thing. So I cried. The second time around, it didn't end so well. I beat him with my mop, like my electrical mop, and it broke. Because obviously I wasn't going to take that from him. And it was something that I just wasn't going to accept. So it was a thing where every time I said to him, block her, he'll block her just for my sake. And then later on go back and be like, my girl told me to block you. And I'll go to him and be like, I saw that. And then he'll block her again, and then he'll do it again. And there was one time where we were at home. I needed help with something. He said he was going to go window shopping in town. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then when I saw the messages coming through, apparently he was going to go meet her and they were going to do window shopping. She was going to go try on some clothes and he was going to sit there and watch, basically. And I needed help. I mean, to get this guy to even just go food shop with me, I've got to bribe him with biscuits or money or something just to come food shop with me. But you're going with this girl, she's not doing nothing for you, but you're following her to watch her try clothes. So obviously when I saw that message, I did confront him. I said to him at first, oh, are you sure you're going window shopping? Yeah, I'm going window shopping, but I'm not going to take long. I was like, are you sure that's where you're going? Yeah, that's where I'm going. Why don't you don't believe that that's where I'm going? I was like, no, I'm just asking. And he's like, yeah, that's where I'm going. I said, okay, so what's this message? And I showed him my phone. I said, because according to this message, you're going window shopping with her to watch her try on clothes. So what, you don't want to watch me try on clothes? And it was just, I laughed at it for a minute, but it was just like, how stupid do you think I am? And like, because I said that now, oh, he's not going anywhere. I was like, no, go where you're going. You said you're going in town. Go meet her. Oh, no, I don't want to go anymore. I was like, no, why don't you want to go anymore? I thought you said you're just going window shopping on your own. So it was just like constantly catching him in a lie. So after that, then I think he took a break on her for a while. I don't know what happened, but didn't hear much from her again. And then next thing you know, I'm hearing about another girl that he was messing with. Her name was Emma. And this girl's got 3 kids. So I can't remember exactly what happened, but for some reason, I was told how they went to a hotel and basically they shared a kiss. So I was thinking, okay, how far did this go? Kind of thing. And I ended up talking to her as well. And then she explains to me she's got 3 kids, this, and that. So when I spoke to Emma now, the story she told me is that he said how he lives alone and he has a son, and how the police is always involved a lot and he can't really see his son that much because his baby mom's crazy. So I said to her, first of all, we're engaged. We live in the same house. We've got 2 kids. The fact that he didn't even mention our daughter was just like, okay, cool. So I now said to her, he literally just took his son for a haircut. So I don't know what he's told you. And so she messaged him. So when Emma messaged him now, what he didn't know is that I was talking to her, and that she was sending me everything he was saying. So obviously she was saying to him, you didn't tell me you was engaged and you got 2 kids. And he was like, who told you that? I just spoke to your girl. Oh, don't listen to that bitch, she's a liar. And I was thinking, whoa, okay, I'm a liar. So I called him and I said, I just saw your message to Emma. We're talking on the phone. So I'm a bitch now. So you're lying to these women that you don't have access to your kid when you do. How low can you go? And then he blocked her. So when I spoke to Emma, I would say to you, I'm not the type of girl who just go attacking a woman. So what it was is, she said to me she was starting to really like him and catch feelings for him. She's known him for quite a while and they've talked on a level and stuff, and she just thought he was a really nice guy, very loving, very romantic and all of that. And so she did kiss him and she felt all these emotions for him. But if she would have known that he actually has a family and he's with someone, she would have never gone any further. So she did apologize to me. And, you know, I had respect for her for doing that, because unlike the other girl he was messing with. So what I noticed is, after this Emma girl, like, literally cut him off, because she said to me she feels so bad because her baby dad of her 3 kids treated her the same way, and she knows how it feels as a woman when a man is treating you like that. So she cut him off completely, and she actually fell in love with another man, which I was happy for her. And literally what happened is, he went back to the previous girl that he started off with and started the whole mess with her again. And so I got angry, put my 2 kids in the buggy and made my way down to his job. And obviously he was trying to stop me from going in, because I wanted to confront this woman and say, like, what is your problem? Like, I've already told you that we're together. Why are you still trying to fuck up things for me? Do you understand? Now, when you get to this stage, ladies, this is where you start to degrade yourself, where you're literally telling off another woman to leave your man alone. When you get to that stage, that's when you know your relationship is going downhill. Like, literally, I was outside of his job cussing and screaming because I was absolutely angry that I'm at home cooking, cleaning, taking care of this guy, and you're at work messing about. Do you understand? It got to a point where I took off my ring and I threw it. To this day, we never found that ring again. Like, I threw it because I was angry. He was on his knees, like, literally on the side of the road, begging me not to go into his job place, because I was going to go in there, because she started talking like she's got a mouth. I said to her, come outside, I'll fuck you up. Like, I wasn't taking it, because why are you disrespecting me? Like, I've told you that he's lying to you. I've told you we're together. You've seen pictures of me, my kids. So after that incident, I went into a deep depression. And depending on how far I got in my depression, things become real peak for me. So it's a thing where I realized he just wouldn't leave this girl alone. So I moved to London for a week to my mum's. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my life, because for those that know me, I don't get along with my mum. My mum is the worst person you can tell about anything, because she is just evil herself. I went to my mom crying for the first time. I normally don't tell my mom nothing. Crying to her, just letting her know what happened and what he's been putting me through and all of that. And I was there for about a week. And then I said, you know what? I want to go and see if I can make things work between me and him, because we was talking because of the kids. So, yeah. I went to London and then I decided to come back. Now, when I decided to come back, my mom was so angry. She didn't like him from day one anyways. She was so angry. So what she is she called the police on me. She called social services on me and basically accused me of abusing my children. So I don't know what her aim was, but like I said to her, if I would have lost my kids, it would have been a wrap, because I get that you don't like who I'm with. At the end of the day, it's not your decision to make about my love life and who I'm going to be with. So it's a thing where when she did that, the minute I landed in Wolves, I had the police at my door, literally trying to check if my children are okay. And I was like, what do you mean? Oh, we got an anonymous report from London saying that you are abusing your children. They should run over. And I called my mum and I was just like, did I do something wrong to you? No. So then why would you do that? And the police were there and I was like, so you just did it because you was angry? She goes, yeah. So when the police heard that, they were just thinking, wow, like, your mom actually called to just get you in trouble. And it was just a thing where I was so pissed off that my mom could do that to me, and me and him was just sitting there laughing like, what's going on? Like, to a point where she even was trying to accuse him of doing some things to my daughter as well. And we went through quite a few episodes where the police would come over checking my children's bodies to see if we're doing anything to them. Ended up having social services involved, and it was a thing where it went to a CP plan, child protection plan, and the front page of our meeting was what my mom had said to social services, and I cried because the things that she said was so horrible and so wrong and such a lie. It was just insane. I couldn't believe that this is what my mom was saying. So it was quite a battle, because we got a social worker that was bent on getting my kids taken away. So it was a thing where she would come in my house and lie that she sees this, but she don't see that. And then they told us she's going on maternity leave, which we were happy about, because we were thinking, okay, they will put someone else in place that won't be trying to get our kids taken from us. So we had to go through a battle. At that time, we weren't arguing as much, but then with the whole cheating, I just got sick of it. So I moved out. This was like 2018. I moved out with my 2 kids on my own, and I said, you know what, I need to try to do this on my own. It was a thing where I said to him, I'm sick of having to do the whole competition thing. He was also becoming very possessive. Like, I would go to Asda, come back, and he's watching me from the window. I look up and I'm just like, creepy. And he would call me, how long does it take you to get out of the car? Who are you talking to on the phone? Do you get what I mean? And it was just a thing where, why are you becoming possessive when you're the one cheating on me? Like, I ain't doing nothing. Do you get what I mean? And then it got to a point where he started telling my friend how he pities me. Even just him touching me makes his skin crawl and all of that. And my friend was like, whoa, that's a big thing to say, you know. Do you know what it means to pity someone? And he was like, he don't want to be with me, how I'm stalking him, this, and that. So the year before I moved out, this was 2017, I had a mental breakdown and the police had to be called because I just went into a state where I couldn't take care of my kids. I was so depressed. I was so low. I was starting to have very dangerous thoughts and I just wasn't me. The whole house was upside down. I just turned everything upside down. I was just so enraged, such an anger. And he knew what it was when I go into that state. And he looked at me and he was just like, the evil things I want to do to you. And then he was like, I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm going to find a better woman for you a better woman for me out there, better than you. And then he went to work. So it was the thing, I was in such a depressive state. I called the police because it got to a point where the thoughts I was having was so dangerous. And knowing that, the thing is, I suffer from depression and anxiety. So when it gets really bad, I do call the police because I become a danger to myself. And if I can become a danger to myself, I can become a danger to my kids. So because the stress was so overwhelming, I called the police and they came in and they had to tell him to leave work and he had to come in, and he wasn't happy about that because, I need to go to work kind of thing. And when they came there, he was telling them how I'm stalking him, I won't let him live his life, this and that. And we were still engaged. So I said to the police officer, I said, I do need help. If they can get me help, that'll be great because I feel like I'm losing my mind. And I said to him in front of the police, so you don't want nothing to do with me, right? You don't want to be with me, right? Cool. He said to the police he wants me to leave him alone, let him live his life and do what he wanted to do. And I said, okay, that's fine. Now, this part is very funny, and a few of my friends that's heard this story is so funny. So what ended up happening is, after the police left, I think it was that night or the night before, I now went on a dating site and I thought, okay, he don't want me anymore. I need to move forward. So I met this guy on there, and obviously I needed some attention, some love. We weren't sleeping in the same room at the time. We were only going to live together until one of us find a way to move out. So I snuck this guy in my room, and he was naked on my bed. And obviously I went to go use the toilet, and I didn't think that he would go to my room because, we're not sleeping in the same room at the time. Everyone's in their own room doing their own thing. And he opened my room door, and there was a naked guy on my bed. And he was so upset. He went into his room and he was like in tears. And I'm thinking, well, why are you in tears? Oh, well, we only spoke about this yesterday. You already got someone in your bed. I was like, well, what did you... So in his mind, as much as he didn't want me, why should I go and want someone else, kind of thing? And this is why I say it's a lot of power trip with men. It's like, you can go out there and do what you want to do. But when a girl does it, it's like, oh, how can you do that? Like, this guy was saying he pitied me, like me touching him make his skin crawl. Okay, well, I'll find someone else that want to touch me. What's wrong with that? And he was just so pissed off. And the next day, he now tried to talk to me about how we can make things work. He was so angry, he literally took the sheets off my bed. It was like, we can't use the sheets anymore. We can't lay on these sheets because he laid on it. And it was just like, I couldn't understand how it went from, I pity you, you make my skin crawl, to now I want to be with you. And then from there, he became obsessive and possessive. So I was like, oh, hell no. And I moved. With my 2 kids, I moved. I got my own place. I was like, no, I'm not taking this. What the hell? I'm not no slave. You ain't going to treat me like that. So it was a thing where when I moved out on my own, it was hard. I'm not going to lie. I've never had to be on my own with children before. I mean, I normally do everything in my household anyway, but it was a tough transition for me because I was now responsible for 2 kids and I had to work and I had things to do. And there was times where I'll ask him for help. Can you watch the kids and things like that? And he didn't want to. And his reason was, if he watched the kids, then I'm going to go off with some other guy and go do something else instead of going to work. So he didn't want to watch the kids. So I didn't get much help. I just had to do what I needed to do to take care of my children. And then I fell pregnant in 2018 for a guy that I barely knew. And when I got pregnant, I was devastated. Now, the job I had was quite a good job and I was managing with my children. But when I got pregnant, I became so ill, I wasn't able to cover the shifts that I was covering. And eventually, they let me go. And when they let me go, I started to panic because I now have kids to take care of. And I didn't know what to do. So I was on the phone to my friend. This was nighttime. So like every nighttime, he would call me. Not call me to check on the kids. He would call me to listen to my background to see if any other guy's there. Because the first month that I moved down, he actually made his way to my house when he heard a guy there. And he was cussing and yelling. And literally had to call the police. That guy never spoke to me again. He blocked me the minute he left my house, which I can't blame him. I mean, it was a difficult position to be put in. He thought that I was doing something with him because I was in my robe. So he thought I was like completely naked, but I wasn't. And he thought we did something when we were just talking. He had literally just arrived from London. He came to come see me and he just kicked off. And so literally it was a thing where I was on the phone to my friend and I was saying to her, I just found I was pregnant. I thought I just had like a cold or flu or something. And then I bought a test and I just thought, oh, let me just take it just in case. I didn't think it was going to go positive, and then it did. And the guy that I got pregnant for now, I had blocked him because he spent 3 days at my house and he was just like, it's like we were playing house kind of, and I thought we were on the same page trying to get to know each other. And then the minute that he left, it was just like, never heard from him again. Then he blocked me and then I blocked him, and I was like, you know what, fuck this, I don't care. But when I got pregnant, I was just like, oh no, I'm now gonna have to talk to him and let him know what's happened. So I was on the phone to my friend in my car. I came from work. Now he had messaged me and I said to him, I'm on the phone to my friend right now. I'll call you when I'm done. But what I didn't know is that he was actually making his way down to my house as he was calling me. And so when I pulled up and I parked my car in the parking lot, literally, he was behind my car, and where I was parked, there was like, the street light wasn't working, so it was like pitch black. And I guess he was standing there for a while, and he heard the conversation about me saying that I was pregnant, and he kicked off, hit me, kicked me, then ran. And so my friend heard me on the phone. I was screaming because he was attacking me, and she called the police. Now, when the police came, I said to them, I don't want to make a statement. I'll tell you what happened, but I don't want to make a statement because at the end of the day, he's still the father of my child, of my 2 kids. And I'm one person, I don't like to get people in trouble. And I didn't want to get him into trouble. And then they arrested him. But even though they arrested him, they let him go. I think it was the next day, if I'm correct. But he had bail conditions, and his bail conditions was to stay away from me. Now, like I said, I was losing everything because I got pregnant. I didn't know how I was going to afford my place anymore, and I needed to go. So I had to tell my landlord that I need to move because I don't know how I'm going to afford this anymore. I'm pregnant. I've got 2 kids. I had nowhere to go, and because this incident happened, social services got involved again, and they were just like, this lady that they brought in now, she was just horrible. And so they wanted to know, well, where am I going to live now with my kids? I didn't want to tell them. And I ended up basically going back to him. And his bail conditions was going to end soon anyways. So I went back to him because obviously I needed some place for my children to live. I just thought, okay, let's see if we can make things work again. So literally, I withdrew my statement in August. The incident happened in July. I withdrew my statement, and the lady was literally begging me, don't withdraw your statement, we can get him to serve time. And I said to him, I don't think you're understanding. This is the father of my kids. I will never be the reason why he goes to jail. I would never be the reason why, because I know he will spend a lifetime blaming me. If he's going to go to jail, let him go to jail because of something he's done, not because of me. I'm not the type of baby mom that'll put my baby dad in jail just because he's doing something towards me. No, I'd rather just walk away. Do you understand? So it was a thing where we spoke about it, and I said to him, I am pregnant. And he was like, you don't have to get rid of it. I'll be there for you, and I'll be there for the child. It's not a problem. But the person who I was pregnant for, I knew the type of person he was. And I was like, no, if I keep this baby, it's going to cause a rack of problems between all of us. So at 3 months, as much as I didn't want to, I got rid of my baby. I mean, it was hard. It took a lot on my mental state, my mental health. I ended up depressed again, knowing that I had killed my baby that I wanted to keep. Now, I think the most sad thing about it was I had to be in hospital by myself, and because I was 3 months, I was just on the borderline. So if I waited any longer, they'll have to do the surgical part of the abortion. But because I was just like on the borderline on the number of weeks I was, they gave me the pill. Now, what I didn't realize about this pill is that I will actually have to give birth to this baby. And so when they gave me the pill first, I had to be admitted to hospital. I started to struggle to breathe. I started to have sharp pains in my chest. And as they took me down for an x-ray, I just felt something dropped. Went to the toilet, and I literally gave birth to the baby in the toilet. And then they put the baby in a basket. I still have a picture of my baby. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, because the way it was at 3 months, you can just see through its skin. So you wouldn't really tell that the genitals hadn't developed yet. So now, after I got rid of my baby, it was devastating. I mean, I was sad for months. I mean, I didn't know how to cope with my feelings because I already had started buying things for this baby. I was planning to keep the pregnancy. I mean, the dad had come over many times and tried to convince me to get rid of my baby before I had moved back in with my baby dad. And I was bent on, I'm not getting rid of it. Like, I don't like abortions and things like that. So I'm highly against it. But it was a thing where I know the type of person my baby dad was, and I knew the type of person I was pregnant for, and it weren't going to work very well. So I just had to do what I thought was best at the time. So while I was going through my depressive state, I went to my baby dad I was living with again, and I said to him, I want a baby. I want to have another child. And he was like, but we already got two. And I said, I don't care. I gave up my baby for you. I want a baby. And so we were trying, and then I got pregnant with my last son. Now, when I got pregnant with my last son, things were, I would say, beautiful. I mean, I thought, okay, we were at a point in our relationship where things were going really well. And I thought, okay, things are just amazing. Like, he was there for me when I was depressed, when I gave up my baby, and he was just all around lovely. I felt like I was getting the guy back that I once had. So we decided to now finally get married. I literally was 6 months pregnant when I was in my wedding dress. We had 2 weddings. So we had the registry, and then we had the actual white wedding in July, because I needed to save up for that wedding. So our wedding anniversary is actually a few days after my birthday, which is the 15th of January. And so I was excited to plan my wedding. It was just wonderful. My wedding dress, everything was beautiful. I also had maternity photos for the first time. I mean, I've never done them before, even with my other kids, because I didn't have the money to do it. But when I got pregnant with my last son, I was somewhat financially sorted. So I was able to afford a photo shoot. We did 2. One was in West Park, where we were all in blue. And the other one, I was in white. And then the rest of them was in, I think, red or something like that. But it was beautiful. I loved it. Like, my maternity photos, I just absolutely loved it. But then, as we went on to 1 year of marriage, I started to notice a difference in behaviour. He started to disappear a bit more. I didn't really see him as much. He wasn't really home as much. When he come from work, making excuses onto why not to come home, and all these excuses for him not to come home early. I didn't want to think nothing of it. I was pregnant. I didn't want to deal with the stress and the drama. But then I found out down the line. So as it started happening, I ignored it. Then we had our son in November 2019. Obviously, with my first son, he was horrible. So when I had my first son with him, when I went into labour, when we went to the hospital, he put in his headphones and he laid on the floor. Didn't help me through labour at all. When they finally did wake him up, they had to yell at him to even just stand near me while I was giving birth. He was asleep, and his excuse was I was tired. And it's just like, how can you be more tired than me? I'm giving birth to an actual human being, but you're tired. So with our last son, he was very supportive. He was in the room in his little doctor suit and trying to distract me and calm me down, because I had to have a C-section. So after we had our son, I realised the behaviours were getting worse. I think there was a time we went to London and some guy killed himself. So basically, the train we were supposed to take, he jumped in front of a train or something like that. And I was quite pissed off because it delayed our train, and it was just a thing where it sounds insensitive, but I was just like, could he not have picked another day to, like, kill himself? Because, like, I'm trying to go home. I was tired. I was exhausted, you know. And this time we was traveling with baby because we just had him. And he just seemed so unedged. And then he started to tell me about, he can't miss another day of work. He'll get in trouble, this, and that. So I was just thinking, don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure we'll get there in time and you'll be able to go to work. And he just looked so nervous. And then I think it was the next day or a few days after that, a letter came home. And actually, no, he called me and he said he's been suspended. And then the letter came home. And I was just thinking, there were like 6 accusations against him. I said, what is this? Oh, this is what I was trying to tell you. So obviously, reading these accusations, I was baffled because it was 6 accusations. One was about him drinking while working, smoking weed while working, leaving a resident unattended for a certain amount of minutes, asking a resident for sex, and then having a relationship with one of the residents' mum. So that one baffled me. I was like, okay, so what, you cheating on me again? Oh, no, I'm not cheating on you, this, and that. So because of the accusations, as a loving, supportive wife, I was trying to support him. I said, well, I called a lady and I said, how can you accuse my husband of this? Like, do you know he's married, right? And you're trying to say he's having a relationship with a resident's mum. What are you trying to say? Because he won't do that. So I was proper trying to defend him, trying to find a way we can get someone to go with him to this meeting so he don't get fired. Then they said they're going to put him on a borrowing list, called a lady crying, please don't do this. Then literally, I asked him again, I said, are you sure that these accusations ain't true? Oh no, it's not true. It's just some lady at my work. She don't like me. So she went and go report me. This is why they have the investigation going on, this and that. And then after they did the first meeting, they sent another letter home explaining how they know that he did these things, because they investigated and they found certain information. So yet again, still trying to defend him, ignoring the red flags, trying to make sure he don't lose his job and all of that. And then I realized he started smoking heavily, drinking heavily. I couldn't take it anymore. So after first year of marriage, I filed for divorce. I didn't finalize it, but I filed for divorce. And I said to him, if you don't change, I'm going to finalize our divorce and we will be divorced. And that's it. I'll walk away from you. Now, going through this whole thing, I didn't know what was about to hit me next until it actually hit me. And trust me when I say, oh my God, it was worse than what I actually thought. So what I found out was, I was sitting in my friend's house and I got a message come through on Facebook, and this person goes to me, it's a woman, oh, your husband is a rat bastard. And I was just thinking, oh, what did he do? Like, I was just thinking, what do you mean by that? Like, did something happen? Are you pregnant? Or, you know, like, I said it as a joke, and I was just thinking, okay, maybe it's just someone he got into an argument with. And this woman says to me, I've been having a relationship with your husband for 8 months, and I didn't realize you guys were married until the other day. And I showed my friend, and I was like, is this some kind of joke or what's going on? I don't understand what's happening. And she's like, no, I'm not joking. I've been in a relationship with your husband for 8 months. And when I'm counting the months, this relationship literally started the month that I had my son. And I was just like, what did you just say to me? So obviously, I was trying to find out more information. So I was just like, okay, you're saying this, right? Can you prove it? And she said, oh, yeah, I can, if you give me a number. But she was a bit scared to give me her number. So I said to her, I'm not a bad person. I'm pretty sure he's gone and told you that I'm crazy, which he tells a lot of people that I'm crazy and I'm paranoid. I'm not. Just be honest with me. So I finally encouraged her to give me her number. And she sent me a voice note. And now this voice note was of her confronting my husband that, oh, I know that you're married. So she was telling me all this stuff about how he would go to sometimes crying that his mom's passed away. So like my husband's mom passed away, I think 2006, 2007. But the way he was making it seem was like it was something fresh. So she now wanted to get him a gift of his mom in a keychain. So she now went on Facebook to search him. But on Facebook, our accounts are linked. So the minute you type in my name or his name, the first thing that pops up is our maternity photos and my marriage pictures. It's on his Facebook page as well. So it's a thing where when that happened, it was just like she saw everything. And till this day, I can't finish that voice note because it's a thing where it hurt. Like, hearing something like that was painful because I wasn't seeing it coming. And then as she explained further, then she said to me, by the way, the fact that your husband got fired from his job, I was the mom of the resident they were talking about. And when I asked this woman how old she was, this woman's oldest child is around my husband's age and mine. So it was a thing where normally they say a man will cheat on you with someone, a younger version of you, but I was getting cheated on with someone older than me. That's not even the worst part. The worst part, this woman is legally classed as disabled. So I was like, what do you mean by disabled? And she said to me, I have a broken hip and I'm in a wheelchair. Now, for me, this was just funny because the first thing I asked her is, so how are you guys having sex? I don't understand. Was he just lifting your leg here? Or like, how did it work? Because it was baffling to me. Like, is he that desperate that you got to go for a disabled woman? And she just seemed so devastated because she said he just seemed so nice and lovely, and she didn't even realize that he was playing her. And I said, to be honest, if anyone's been played here, it's me. Because I was pregnant. I had a baby, and then he started messing about. And she was like, well, he said you guys are divorced. And I was like, I filed for divorce. I haven't finalized it because I wanted him to change. I didn't realize he was messing about behind my back. And it was just like... So it was a thing where hearing this news, I couldn't believe it. I sat in my friend's house and I was just like, no way, this is not happening. When she sent the voice note, I said to my friend, I can't listen to this whole thing, because I just started crying. I was like, listen to this voice note and just give me like a gist of what it's about. And he told me. So I now had to confront my husband about what I just found out. And this was the most craziest thing ever. I didn't want to do it because it wasn't going to end well either way I did it. So I said, I'm going to do it in a nice way. So I now said to him, I called him and I said, we need to talk. Oh, what about? Oh, I just want to tell you something. It's nothing bad. It's something really good. Can you come? I need to talk to you. We need to go in the house. I'll leave the kids with TJ so we can like have a proper talk about it. And he just seemed nervous. Oh, what is this talk about? I was like, don't worry about it. It's nothing bad. Just come meet me. He was at the shop across the road. So he came up and he just looked super nice. So literally when he came, he was by the lift. And I was smiling, just kept a smile on my face. And we went in the house and I said to him, okay, I do want to talk to you about something. Do you know anyone named, I think Rachel or something like that? No, I don't know anyone named Rachel. Or no, I said Becky. And then he's like, no, I don't know Becky. And I said, okay, Rachel. And he just still confused. So I now said to him, okay, I want to play you this voice note. And then you tell me what you're hearing. And he's like, okay. Play the voice note and he can hear himself. And you can just see his face dropped. And it was just a big shock in his face. And he said he needs to go. And I said, well, where are you going? I'm trying to talk to you about something I just found out. And he was like, he needs to go. I stood by the door. And he's like, don't stand by the door again, because you know how that ends when you try to corner me. And obviously, normally, if I stand by the door, he'll try to push me or put his hand on me. So because I didn't want that to happen again, I moved. And when I say this guy physically ran, I'm not talking about like ran, like he just walked away from the situation. Physically ran. He ran. Like, he ran. And at first I was laughing because I was thinking, okay, what is he doing? I didn't get what was happening. And then I realized he didn't come home. He came home maybe around 2-3 in the morning. And he peeked in the window. I was making food for my kids. He saw me and then he physically ran again. So my children are now asking, why is daddy running? I said, honestly, I don't know. But let me make your food and you guys need to go to bed. After that day, then the next day came, anytime he saw me. And when I saw him the next day again, I was driving or something. In a minute he saw me, he ran again. And then there was a time when he was coming down the lift, day 3, saw me and the kids, physically ran. And his friends were saying, where are you running to? Where are you going? Why are you running? And he just running. I don't know. He was just physically running from me. Call his phone, won't pick up. Just running. Don't know where he went and sleep. Didn't know nothing. Just running. So what ended up happening was, on the 4th day, I just had enough. He left me with the 3 kids. I just had enough. So I was talking to my counselor on the phone and I was saying to her, obviously, I feel like I'm going into that depressive state again and I don't want to. I now have 3 kids. My baby was, I don't even think he was like, maybe, he wasn't a year yet, but I have a younger one now. So it was a thing where while I was on the phone to her, I was standing like in the balcony area, so I wasn't wearing no shoes or anything. And I saw him across the road. He was getting a pizza. And it's like, honestly, to this day, the way I would describe it, it's like something in my head snapped. And so I took off I mean, I'm one person, I'm unfit. Just going up the stairs, I'm like breathing like deep. I'm unfit. But that day, as I said, something snapped and I took off. I wasn't wearing no shoes. I went down those stairs in my building, snuck up right behind him, and when he saw me, he took off. I mean, the distance that I chased him was mad. Till this day, when I look at the distance, I think to myself, my adrenaline must have been high that day, because I ran barefoot, nothing on my feet, to chase after him and ask him why he's... Literally, when I finally did somewhat catch up to him, I took the wig off my head. It's gonna sound mad. I took the wig off my head and I threw myself to the floor and I was just screaming. And I think what was going through my head as I was screaming, I was just saying, why are you fucking kidding me? After everything you've already put me through, you are putting me through more. And this time, I didn't even do anything to you. Like, it's a thing where all I did was confront you about what you did. I didn't yell, I didn't shout, and you're physically running from me and my children. And when he saw I dropped to the floor and I was just absolutely enraged, just screaming, then he stopped running and he came towards me trying to help me get up. And as he was helping me get up, I noticed something. And what happened next wasn't good. So what I noticed is the laptop that was in my house. I don't know how he got it. Maybe when I wasn't in for a few hours, he went home and realized I wasn't there. But he had took the laptop. And for some reason, it made me even more angry. And I took the laptop off him and I smashed it to the floor. And I just started going for him. I was like literally attacking him, like punching and everything, just going insane. My friend was on the phone to me, my counselor was on the phone, and my friend was with my kids, and he had to drive up and he met us in the middle of the road. When I say it was like a boxing match, literally all the neighbors were in their balcony watching and everything, and I was just losing it. I went insane. Like, I've never seen myself go so mad in my life. Literally, I went so crazy. Like, I think I was just so angry and so enraged that he was running for me. And then he tried to break a bottle to try to hit me, but the way I was going for him, I was just like, everything you're wearing from head to toe is because of me. Like, I have been taking care of you from the day I met you, and I told you that I found out you're cheating on me, and you're physically running from me like I did something to you. And the things he was saying, oh, you think you're perfect, you think you're all that, this and that. And I was just thinking, are you kidding me? And then the woman that he was staying with, her and her man, she comes near me and she's like, oh, why are you doing this? You're embarrassing yourself. And I was just like, please don't talk to me. Because first of all, you've had my husband up in your house for how many days as he ran away from me and my kids like I did something to him. I said, so if you don't get out my face, I'm going to punch you. Honestly, that lady talking, I just wanted to punch her in her mouth, because like I said to her, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what's happening in my marriage. You don't know what this guy's doing to me. You're here talking about I'm embarrassing myself. You think I give a shit that anyone's looking? I don't really care. I actually do not give two fucks that anyone's watching me. Like, if you want to watch me, you watch me. But I'm going to say and do what I'm going to do, because he has been avoiding me for how long? So after my friends tried to hold me back so I don't go after him again. And then after I calmed down, we sat down and talked. And obviously I said to him, the only reason I'm even with you is because of the love that I have for you. And he took off running, and we was thinking, okay, where did he go? Apparently he went to the shop, which was really rude because we were trying to talk to him at the time. And obviously my friend was asking, what is it that makes you treat her the way that you do? What is it that she's doing that you don't like, kind of thing? And he was mentioning, oh, how I still talk to my exes, I don't have respect for him, and this and that as a man. But the thing is that was funny is, yeah, I do talk to some of my exes, but it's not on that level. I do have respect for myself. So like one of my exes, because he was like my childhood sweetheart, our families are like really close. So it's a thing where we don't go any further with conversation. We're just like, hi, how you doing? And things like that. It's nothing like that. I'm one person, I like to keep in communication with people that I've known, because I feel like it's a small world. You don't know who will help you in that time that you will need help. So it's a thing where I've even got my school teachers from America on my Facebook and stuff. I've got my Spanish teacher and everything. Like, I'm one person I like to keep in communication with everyone. And it's a thing where I wasn't doing anything with my exes or anything. He seen my conversations. I don't delete messages on my phone, so I'm quite open. My phone is there. You can look through it. I'm very respectful in my conversations. I don't take it any further or anything like that. And I said to him, you have nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? It's not like his phone where everything is literally hidden on his phone. And obviously, as I said at the beginning of the video, you give me respect, I give you respect. So the way he look at it is, I don't have no respect for him as my husband. I don't get how you expect me to have any respect for you when you're constantly cheating on me. And now you've lost your job because you were cheating on me. And instead of sitting down and talking to me like a civilized human being, you took it upon yourself to physically run from me and my family and treat me like I'm absolutely shit. Like, people seen him on the road and tried to talk to him, like, why are you not going to go talk to your wife? And he's just like, oh, she thinks she's perfect. Oh, she thinks she's this. She thinks she ain't got no flaws. It's not what it's about. Like, you cheated on me. You should be sitting down and talking to me and explaining to me, why do you keep doing it? But it was a thing where I was the bad guy as usual. I mean, I think a lot of people say that I was in a domestic violence relationship. I don't want to accept that. I think I was emotionally drained by my husband. I was emotionally tormented. I was bullied into behaving a certain way. I believe that he didn't have respect for me at all. And as you can see, I started off as the loving, supportive woman I was. And going towards the end, I became very violent and very rude and very disrespectful. And so things were just getting out of hands. And it just got to a point where I was just like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I still kept pushing, still kept thinking, okay, I'm going to do what I can do. But it got to a point where it was hard. I ain't going to lie. It was hard because he was lying to me. Then we had another incident happen June this year. Oh, that one was... It was bad. I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed in myself for getting that angry. And I was disappointed in myself for letting it go as far as it did. Because the police had to be called. And my hand was swollen and he was bleeding on his face. So in June, what ended up happening is we were moving houses. We lived in a beautiful house in Bilston, and we were moving now to another place. And I was in a new house trying to sort everything out. My friend helped me get the wallpapers done and everything. And he called me and he was like, oh, what drink do you want? And I was thinking, I never asked you to get me a drink. I don't understand what drink you're asking me to get. And then I think he realized who he was talking to, so he hung up the phone. And I called him and I said to him, so what was that about? I didn't tell you I want a drink. So who is it that you're with that you're asking what drink do they want? And he was like, oh, he's talking to his brother in London, how they were just talking about drinks and stuff when they come back. And I was like, how stupid do you think I am? So when he did that, it's like, it was a red flag. So I paid for the phone bill. So I now went through his phone list and started calling numbers. And all the numbers I called in was females. And I called one number and a girl was just so disrespectful towards me. And I was just thinking, okay. And then I called another woman and she was just like, oh, is this Concept's wife that thinks that everyone is sleeping with her husband? And I was just like, excuse me? Now, where would you get that from? I'm just calling to ask, have you seen him? And do you know him? And how you know him? And it was just, I just felt stupid. Like, this is like literally where you degrade yourself, women. Like, don't do this. It feels horrible. And I was just talking to this woman and I was just thinking, okay. So I hung up the phone and I called her. I said, why is it that all the numbers on your phone are females? What's going on? Oh, nothing's going on. This, and that. And I said, well, I need you to come home at a certain time because I'm going to need help with the kids. Because what happens is at night time, sometimes if I've done too much during the day, my joints act up and I can't walk too good. So I need help with the children. And he knows that. So it was a thing where literally after that, he didn't come home. I didn't see him till probably 11, close to midnight. And when he came in, I was just so angry, but I said, you know what, just be calm. I went downstairs and I said to him, you're supposed to come home at 6 when I finish work. You didn't come home. Is there a way that you can tell me why you didn't come home? Was it because of the conversation we had previously? And he said to me, you can't tell me what to do. I want to do what I want to do. And I said, okay, that's fine. Can I get my phone? And then you can just go find somewhere else to live. And he took off running. He literally opened my back door, jumped over my garden gate, and started running. So I took the front way, which kind of cuts the journey short for me, and I caught him in the street and I took him by his trousers. And so I was holding him by the trousers. Once again, neighbors coming out to see what's happening. And I said to him, you ain't going nowhere until you give me my phone. Because you don't pay for the phone. I do. So you need to give me my phone and then you can go where you want to go. I was calm. I was all right. And then he started to physically fight me. He threw me to the floor. Literally slammed me into the floor. So I turned around, ended up on top of him, started punching him. And yeah, we were physically fighting in the middle of the road. And the neighbors were just like, you guys need to stop it. And the children were inside the house. They were upstairs. And they was just like, you guys need to stop fighting. And I said, no, I'm not going to stop because this guy literally tries to challenge me at every point he gets. He literally bullies me, knows that doing this will tick me off. And it still does it anyways. So yeah, I held his trousers and I said, you ain't going nowhere. He slammed me to the floor. I turned around, I put him back on the floor as well. And by the time the police got there, my hand was swollen and he was bleeding. So it was a thing where when the police came, I think I started to realize that I fucked up. So I said to the police, you're going to arrest me now, aren't you? And I'm going to lose everything that I've worked hard for. And he said, no, but you guys need to separate from each other for this night, because you guys got kids. And I said, okay, that's fine. They asked me if I want to press charges. I said no. They asked him if he wants to press charges. He said no. I said, okay, well, he can find somewhere to stay because yes, I am absolutely fuming tonight. So I think it is best that he does not sleep here. And so apparently he said he had nowhere to go, which he always had that woman's house that was trying to tell me what to do in my marriage. He always goes there, but this time he didn't. So he ended up jumping my garden gate and sleeping in our shed, and I didn't realize it till the next morning. Then he came in talking about he wants some water, and I was like, why were you sleeping in the shed, kind of thing, and begging for me to give him a. So he did go for a few days. I think it was 2-3 days. Wasn't talking to me. I had calmed down by the next day. And basically, my friend ended up bringing him back to talk to me and stuff. And so because he didn't want to give me my phone, I cancelled out the SIM and had them bring me another SIM to my house. And what I did is I had a spare phone. So I put the SIM in there ready for him for when he came back home. And I didn't realize if I put in the SIM, then I started to see conversations with him and another woman. And I wasn't even thinking that he was cheating on me, but he was. This woman's from Italy. They were talking about how they love each other and all this crap. And so when he came back, I had told my friend what had happened, and we confronted him. And I said to him, so you're talking to another woman? Are you cheating on me? I've asked him before, are you cheating on me? No, I'm not cheating on you. I even described what cheating. I even gave him the definition of what cheating means, broke it down for him, and then asked him again, are you sure you're not cheating on me? No, I'm not cheating on you. And I said, okay, well, what's this message that I saw on your phone? And I showed him the message, and his head dropped, and he was just like, oh, it's just some girl I'm talking to, I've never met her. I said, I know you never met her, because from the number I'm looking at, she lives in Italy. And so my friend was asking, oh, is there any other women that you ever was talking and cheating on your wife with? And he did confess there was another woman from South Africa. So for me, I said to him, okay, so now I have to deal with the local cheating, and now you're hitting international as well. So it's just like, no respect. But because I already said he can come home, I said, okay, let's try to make this thing work. But down the line, I ended up seeing that girl's name pop up again. Same girl. I don't know what it is. And it was just mad. So from there, I started to realize that I've hit rock bottom in my relationship and as a woman. And yeah, women, you should never go this far for any man. It ain't worth it. All this thing that I've been explaining to you, trust me when I say it's not worth it at all. No woman deserves to go through that, let me tell you that now. I mean, every woman should be treated like a queen. But there are men out here that will just degrade you and take all the value that you have of yourself, and you should never allow that. I allowed it for so long, to a point where I started to lose myself. I mean, I'm a respectful, calm person, and I turned into this violent monster all because of one guy that I loved. It didn't take me nowhere. What ended up happening is it caused more depression and insecurities for me. It lowered my confidence in everything about myself. So I think for me, the last straw was literally an incident that happened a few months after that. I was going through my depression and I was feeling a bit low. It wasn't as bad, but I was just feeling a bit low. I started a business and things weren't going so well, and I was just low. And so I came to him one night and I was crying. I said, I just feel like I'm not getting time to myself. I'm constantly a mom and a wife. I need some time to myself. Sometimes just relax, go out for a drink, chill with my friends, things like that. But the thing is, with my husband, he has this thing where if I go anywhere, it's a thing where, oh, you're seeing another guy, you're talking to someone else, and I can't do anything. He's just so possessive. I can't, anywhere I go, it's like, you got to take the kids with you, because he feels like if I take the kids, I won't be able to flirt with no guy or do anything. So I have to drag them everywhere that I literally go, while he sits at home and do nothing. So it was just a thing where I was explaining to him how I'm feeling, and he said to me, okay, the 2 kids are sleeping. So what I'm going to say is, how about you go out now for a bit and then, have some time to yourself and then come back home. Obviously, it was just our youngest that was still awake. He said, don't worry, I'll sort him. You go out. He actually helped me to get dressed. I wasn't like properly dressed because I was just going for fresh air. I was like in a onesie and I just threw on the closest wig I can find. He helped me brush my hair and everything, walked me to my car and literally got me in my car, closed the door. I thought, okay, he's being sweet, he's being nice, he's understanding that I just need some space. And after 30 minutes of being out, he's like, okay, you can come home now. And I was like, why? Oh, it's getting dark. I'm 27 years old. Do you not think I can take care of myself? It's been 30 minutes. That's not even enough time. That's nothing. And he's like, so it was a thing where I said to him, well, I'm going to stay out longer because I'm actually enjoying the fresh air. It feels amazing to just be out here without having to hear a child screaming at me or someone calling my name to do something. So I'm going to stay out longer. Then he hung up the phone. Then he called me again. And here came the mental abuse and the verbal abuse. It was, oh, are you really out there? Oh, you sure you're not seeing someone? Oh, you sure you're not talking to someone? Oh, you're probably with a guy right now. Then he was like, oh, video call me. Video called him. Oh, let me see. Turn the camera around. Let me see left. Let me see right. Let me see behind you. And I was like, I'm on the road. But I showed him. I didn't have a problem with that. I showed him. And I said to him, well, there you go. I'm on the road, so I'm not lying to you. Oh, you're probably lying to me. So I'm on the phone to this guy, and I didn't realize I dropped my keys to my car. And I said to him, obviously, since you're kicking off, I'm just going to come home. It seems like I can't have any time to myself. I'm not allowed to, but when you want to go on your scooter rides, I let you go and do what you're doing, but you're not letting me have my time. So he's like, oh, no, it's not that. It's just that sometimes I get jealous. And I said, but what's the point of getting jealous? I'm on my own. I'm not with anyone. And so I went back to my car and I realised that I dropped my keys, so I had to find it. So I called him. I said to him, I just want to let you know I'm not making excuses. I've just lost my keys sitting in the street arguing with you. Oh, no, you didn't lose it. Whoever's house you went to, you better go and get it. You're probably at some guy's house. So it took me a while to find my keys. A man came up to me and said, oh, he found my keys. I said, okay, cool. Called him and said, I found my keys. This man actually found my keys and he gave it to me. And he said, oh, what man? That's probably the man he was fucking. And I was thinking, where is this coming from? Anyway, I drove home, and when I got home, we got into a massive argument. Didn't get violent, but it was just a massive argument. So it was just a thing where When I came home, he was just like, my stories don't add up. I said I was here, but then this, and that. And I said about a video called you, so I didn't have anything to hide. And he was just proper having a go at me to a point where he was basically insinuating like I was a hoe, just going around sleeping with people. And I was like, I've never slept with anyone while we've been married. And it's a thing where you've done it. You had a full-grown relationship behind my back. Oh, you're just trying to twist it to me now. And I was like, no, it's not about that. But don't sit here and accuse me of something I didn't do. And it got so heated. I said, I'm going to bed. I don't want to listen to this. And then he followed me upstairs and he was just like, how I should open my legs so he can smell me. Now everyone gets angry when I told him what I did next. So yes, I opened my legs and he smelled me. And this nigga looked at me and said how I smell like a condom. First of all, anyone that knows me, I don't use condoms because they hurt. So, and how do you know what a condom smells like? First of all, it was degrading. So it was the most degrading moment of my life. I mean, anyone that I told what he did and the way I reacted was angry at me because they said to me, as a woman, you should never degrade yourself like that, where a man is asking to smell you and you open your legs and let him smell you. And I said, but I don't feel like I have anything to hide. So yeah, I did it. But to be honest, when you sit down and think about it, women, you got to respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, I'm telling you, these men out here are not going to respect you. It don't matter what you say. It don't matter what you do. You can be so beautiful and a man will still disrespect you. It don't matter what you do. If a man don't respect you, you cannot force a man to respect you. He's not going to develop that respect after a few years. Once he start off and he don't respect you, he ain't never going to respect you. And this is the thing that I had to learn the hard way. You cannot grow respect. Respect is something that someone will have there. So it's a thing where after all of that happened, I had to sit down and reevaluate myself. What do I want for myself? What do I want for my children? Do I want to continue this marriage knowing that this guy can literally never respect me? He will literally, like I normally say to him, I feel like he's got two personalities or he's bipolar. 1 minute we're okay, we're doing fine, and it's like something possesses him and boom, he switches and he's just angry and frustrated, and it's always towards me. Like the last argument we had was when my son literally had a seizure, because after that whole incident he disappeared again, went and go sleep at this woman's house. My son had a seizure. I sent him pictures and stuff. I said to him, Elijah just had a seizure, we need to go, we're at the hospital, we're on our way there, we had the ambulance over and everything. I thought as a dad he will come to the hospital. He didn't come to the hospital. So I sat there for hours on my own, and me and my friend had got into an argument that day because he went and go give him money because he needed it or something. And I felt like, why are you giving him money? He ran away again. And I gave him the option, you either stay home and talk to me or you leave, and he chose to leave. So I was angry at him and I told him off. But when I told him that my son was in hospital, he was there in less than 10 minutes, where my baby dad, my so-called husband at the time, was laying in bed in some woman's house. And I was just thinking, okay. In the morning now, my friend called him and said, I've got your 2 other kids, because he came to the hospital, my friend, to pick up my 2 other kids so they don't have to sleep there while I'm waiting on what's happening with my son. And literally, like, we called him. He didn't even realize we called him. He didn't pick up. So I know the woman's number that he's always going to go sleep at her house with her man there. And so we called her. So literally, it was a 3-way call. I muted my side so he can talk. And what I'm about to tell you is so funny. So when we called, first of all, we was asking, is he there? She's like, oh, he's sleeping, this and that. So my friend was like, okay, well, we need to talk to him because his youngest son has been in hospital. So she was like, okay, I'll get him for you. And this is what we heard next. Jesus, someone's on the phone for you. Now, my husband has a nickname that he created this nickname. Now, it started off as a game name on his PlayStation 5 where he calls himself Black Jesus. Now, at first, I felt offended because I was just like, okay, what the fuck? But when I'm hearing this woman, Jesus, I was just like, what the fuck did she just say? So she now sounds like she's worshipping my husband. First of all, his name is Abdul. He is not the son of God. And I said to him, that's not funny. And then he took the phone, and he literally took the phone And my friend saying to him, oh, I've got your kids, this and that happened to Elijah. And he was like, oh yeah, she did tell me that like something happened to Elijah, she's going to go hospital. And he was like, okay, well, you need to come. And I don't he was trying to tell him why did he go to hospital or something like that. And then my husband goes, well, man's needed to sleep. And I was on the phone, I was just like, what did he just say? Man's needed to sleep. I'm telling you, our son just had a seizure. Man's needed to sleep, that's why you didn't show up. Cool. So my friend was angry and he was like, you need to get to my house right now because your kids are here. Oh, can I just message you later? No, you need to come now. And so he made his way down there. And when I heard that, I was just like, wow, this guy literally has no respect for me. So as time went on, I had to sit down and I had to make a decision. Yes, it's going to be hard on my own now with 3 kids on my own. I'm a single mom. But I had to think about it logically. Either I stay in this marriage and continue to go through what I'm going through, and maybe one day one of us will literally kill each other, or I walk away and figure out a way to take care of my children on my own and thrive on my own. Because being with this guy, I don't see it getting any better. I still will always love him. He's the father of my kids. I remember all the good times that we did have, even though we had more bad than good. But it's a thing where even you see all those videos we were doing, it was a thing where every time I was recording, why are we recording? Why do you need to record this? Why do we need to... he's not very lively. He doesn't have the energy that I got. And if I want to be with someone, I need to be with someone that got the same level of energy that I got, the same ambition, the same drive, because I'm hardworking. I like to do things on my own. I'm independent. So he went on the same wavelength I was on. So I had to make the decision to walk away. And it was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. So literally the past few months before I finally said to him, I don't want to be in a marriage with you anymore, I had to work out my feelings and emotions. And even though now being on my own, yes, I don't like the feeling of being alone sometimes, and it does hit me hard, especially when my children are sleeping. But I would rather go through that than to be in a situation where I'm stressed, because even when he's here, he don't spend much time with me. He's downstairs and I'm upstairs. If I go downstairs and say, oh, let me just go sit down with him, it's like he don't want to be around me. He will come upstairs, and if I come upstairs, he'll go downstairs. So he didn't spend time with me anyways. So it's like, why are you here? You're not doing anything for me. You only do things when you feel it's convenient for you. And then he started drinking heavily. We'll come home sometimes and he's drunk. Just don't take care of his personal hygiene. I have to tell him to take a shower, to wash himself, to, he just didn't care anymore, and I just couldn't deal with it. So yeah, I've just been trying to sort myself out, trying to cope being a mom of 3. It's not easy because literally now I'm a single mom. I am in uni studying forensic science and policing, which is already difficult as it is. And then I do own a nursery as well. So I've got like a lot going on. So which is why when I did get married, I wanted to get married because I wanted to be with someone that has the same level and the same ambition that I do, because I keep going at things. I like to do new things, try new things, and I needed someone that will give me that level of support to do what I need to do, support me. As in, when I come home, I want the love, the attention, because I've had a long day at work. I want the help of the children. I just want someone to just love me for me. And obviously, yes, we all have flaws, but just genuinely have that love for me. And I just weren't getting it for my marriage. So at this point, that's what I'm looking for. But it's very hard to find in this generation that we're in, because a lot of the men in this generation are highly disrespectful, and they just want to mess about with people's feelings and emotions. And I'm very emotional. I don't like people mess with my feelings. Like, if you're not interested, I expect you to say, you know what, hands up, I'm not interested. I'm not interested, instead of just wasting my time, because my time is very precious and I don't want people wasting my time kind of thing. So it's a thing where at the moment I know that a guy out there may exist, but I'm not seeing it at the moment, and I'm not looking for it. If it comes to me, it comes to me. But at the moment, I'm teaching myself how to be alone, and I need to learn to love myself, because the reason why a guy will put me through this is because I didn't love myself, and I'm going to learn to love myself. And a lot of women out there, you need to learn to love yourself. You don't need You don't need a man to love you. You can love yourself. I know a lot of women out here are just looking for the companionship. Yes, it does get lonely, especially when you've got children. You just want that one person to be there to give you the love, the attention. We all want it. Everyone wants love and attention. But trust me when I say to you, you don't need it. You can love yourself. Don't let these men out here treat you like trash. They're out here to use people. They will use you and not even care about your feelings. You think these men out here care about your feelings? They will get sex from you and go where they're going. They don't really care. As long as they're getting what they want, that's all it really matters. Yes, you have some guys out there that are actually not with you for sex. They're with you because they genuinely want to get to know you. But even them ones, they act a bit funny after a while because, yeah, they'll spend time with you. But it's when they feel like spending time with you. They ain't going to give you the time of day. They ain't going to treat you that special. If you're looking for someone out there to treat you special, treat yourself special. Because the men out here, you can't rely on it. You can't at all. So in conclusion, this is what I've been going through. This is all the stuff that I've been going through. And it's been a lot on me, but I am getting better. I do want to thank all the people that were there for me, my friends, my family, my auntie and all. They were there for me through this tough time. It wasn't easy because sometimes certain things happen and it triggers me. And I've had a lot of triggers the past few weeks that he has been gone because we don't live together anymore. But I am working through my triggers so then I don't get as angry anymore, controlling my temper. But it is not easy and I am trying my best. But I just want to let you guys know we are all okay. My kids are doing well. I'm doing well. I'm okay. I've been quiet for a while, but I will be making more videos soon. So stay tuned because I will be making videos. My advice for all the ladies out there, do not ignore red flags. Red flags are there for a reason. When a man shows you automatically that they can't respect you, walk away. If you're talking to a guy and he calls you the B word, any man that can call a woman a bitch, he ain't a man. You don't ever speak to a woman like that. Walk away. If a man, you're trying to find a way to spend time with you and he's making all these excuses to spend time with you, walk away. Let me tell you something. There is no one on this earth so busy that they can't see you, even if it's for 5 minutes. Unless that person is the president of United States or they own the country or they are the Queen of England, they can spend time with you. They can spare 5 minutes to spend time with you. If you find yourself having to chase a guy just to spend time with you, walk away. That is a red flag. That is definitely a red flag. If you're talking to this guy about something, you're asking questions to get to know him and he can't seem to answer questions directly, instead he will try to change the subject, that's another red flag. Walk away. There are so many red flags out here that we women keep ignoring. Walk away. When a guy shows you himself, you need to walk away. If the guy ain't treating you the way you deserve to be treated as a woman, walk away. Because if you keep ignoring these flags, you will end up in a relationship where you are sitting there in tears as he does what he wants to do because he didn't respect you from day one. You want respect, you need to treat yourself with respect first. When you respect yourself, people will respect you. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. Ladies, be very careful because the men out here are getting more evil. Thank you guys so much for listening to my story. This is the Fauna family. I may change the name of my channel, but yeah, stay tuned. This is the Fauna family. Like, subscribe and share. Bye.